Hi guys, and welcome back to the next soap in our holiday collection. This one is going to be called Silver and Gold. Yes, just like the song. So I drew up the concept for this design. So if you guys look here in the bar, you'll see that it has red, silver, and gold. We're going to be using a combination of some colors and customize some things. So let's talk about the color. We're going to be doing a gold. I want to do something that's a combination between luster gold, which is this beautiful, more like antique gold color, meets pot of gold from Micas. I think these two together can be a really nice blend. And so that this gold color doesn't get muted out, I'm going to be picking up the bright yellow raincoat, and this is also from Micas, and this is a beautiful neon. So that'll be going in this first pot. The next color I'm going to whip up will be my silver color, and for this I'm going to be using gray satin pillowcase. And then my last colorant will be a true red, using the true red set from Micas as well. Last thing we're going to talk about is fragrance oil. This is 1,000 Wishes by BBW from Silk Goods. We're going to be using that as our fragrance. So I decided in today's video to show you how I kind of like customize my colorants here. So I'm going to start with the yellow, the gold of this design. So to do my colorant, I'm going to lean towards what feels right. So I'm going to take pot of gold, which is this beautiful yellow gold color, and I'm going to be heavy on the yellow. Cap everything back up when you're done. It'll save you a mess later. Next, I'm going to take this luster gold, which is a more orangey gold, and I'm going to do about half of what I did. That looks half. Then to anchor everything down and to keep the yellow yellow, I'm going to be taking this bright yellow raincoat, which is a neon yellow, and just put a little speckle do ya. Now I like to work on my colors one at a time. So I have my little hand whisk here, and I'm going to take a nice little tablespoon. And my oils are at room temperature. They've been sitting out along with the lye. This is how I kind of do everything when it comes to the soaps, really. So I get a nice little whisking. We have this beautiful goldeny color. Once I get the color where I want it, he gets set to the side. Now, I've decided to go ahead and put the satin in a container as well. But considering the last time I did red, we're going to put it in this one. So for the true red set from Micas, you take a combination of Voodoo, Spicy Tomato, and Brazilian Hussy. You mix them together in equal parts with your oil, and you should get a true red color. That's where the measuring spoon really comes in handy. So I'm going to do as close to equal as possible with my eyeballing technique and get this as close to true red as I can. Now the red is really an anchor, something to help me with contrasting between the silver and the gold. I did think about just doing silver and gold on its own, but decided against it. I wanted to have that really holiday, Christmas, luxury vibe to it. So that's why I went with the red. That's my anchor color. And I'm just going to put the silver in the container. And since it's just one color, I think it'll be a lot easier just to dump a tablespoon in there versus trying to play around with colors here. And if this satin pillowcase is not the right color for me and I want to bring it down or whatever, I can just add more, or you add a little titanium dioxide. So now that I have the 3 powders in, the same thing what I did with the gold. Add about a tablespoon of the oils. Give it a swirly-dirly first. This prevents you from having that poof of smoke. I don't want to feel like there's a genie coming out of my bowl here. And there's our true red. Now this recipe will be using my 30% triple butter recipe. There are 3 butters in this recipe. I want this to be a luxurious filling on your skin. And my triple butter recipe includes cocoa butter, shea butter, and mango butter at a 30% ratio in this recipe. So it's very rich and creamy on the skin. One of my favorite recipes is this one. Over here, I have my lye solution, which has my sodium lactate as well as my tussa silk fibers. So for this recipe, in the main batch, I'm going to be taking my organic coconut milk powder and white kaolin clay. So we're going to start with about 4 of these little measurements that come in this container, which for me looks like about a tablespoon, a very hefty tablespoon, which is what I always do. Now I'm going to take my white kaolin clay and find my tablespoon measure. All right. I found it. All right, I'm going to do a hefty tablespoon of white kaolin clay. Heaping tablespoon, honey. All right, now that's in, we're going to put our additives away. Plug up the good old blender. Grab the attachment, and we're going to blend this on high for about 30 seconds or so, just to get this all incorporated. Alrighty, now I'm going to pause at this moment and put on the gloves so we can get geared for safety. All right, gloves are on. Now let's get the lye. Let's go and get the top off. Attach our blender. Swirl down those excess bubbles, because you'll see like it's really foamy on top. I don't know if you guys ever see that in other videos, but yeah, it gets really foamy, so I kind of give it a little swirl. Burp the baby. Tilt and pour, and I'm going to lightly pulse this 1 pulse at a time over the course of pouring. Alrighty, now I'm going to give it a swirl, and we're going to pulse this and blend this for about a minute. Alrighty, now to get my handy dandy spatula, swirl it around, make sure everybody is all nice and incorporated, and we've reached emulsion. Oh, that's so smooth and creamy, OMGB. So now that's an emulsion, I'm gonna go ahead and measure off my fragrance. So I'm gonna take the cap off, and we're gonna be using 3 ounces of fragrance oil for this size batch. This fragrance oil is so nice. If you're familiar with the holiday collection at Bath & Body Works, then you know this fragrance well. So I'm gonna be adding 3 ounces. And I'm just gonna go on the wild side and pour everything in here at once and hope for no acceleration and discoloration. Now that's in, I'm gonna blend it up using the attachment from the blender. I personally prefer to use this attachment for stirring things in, because guess what? It's 1 less dish to wash at the end of the day. Now that fragrance oil is beautifully mixed in, so what I'm gonna do is move you over to the side. We're gonna pull in our colorants, and I decided to throw a tablespoon of turmeric into the gold. Turmeric gives a really great golden color that I absolutely love. And the kaolin clay is just really good for the skin. So let me grab those add-ins. So for the turmeric, I'm gonna be using this one. I'm gonna use about a tablespoon. So I'm gonna grab a tablespoon. Get it? A tablespoon. Okay. And then for the rose kaolin clay, I'm doing the same thing. Right on in there. And I don't have anything that would be really cool to add into the silver layer, so he won't get anything. Aww. All right. Now to grab my whiskey whisk. Stir that in. Then do the same thing to the red. All right. Man down. So now we're going to fill these up. I'm gonna do less of the red, because the red, like I said, is kind of like an in-between color for this. And then I'm going to add my satin gray pillowcase. If I can open it, there we go. Ooh, what a struggle. Ooh, that's pretty. All right, we'll just dump that in. A generous tablespoon to start. And see what that looks like. Ooh, I like it. All right, so now that we know that color is good to go, we're gonna put the cap back on and move him out the way. Safety first. I'm gonna take my spatula and stir in this gold color and make sure it's saturated as I want it to be. Make sure you're scraping from the bottom and lifting it up so there's nothing left on the bottom. Oh, that is beautiful. Now I was playing around with this design a lot because I knew I wanted to do a silver and gold inspired soap because I love that song. It's from one of my favorite animations around the holiday. Doesn't that look like liquid gold, you guys? Oh, he's beautiful. Now to do the red, same thing. Watch him come to life. Make sure there's nothing left behind. And just because I don't want to risk putting any color in here, any unwanted color, I'm gonna grab a new spatula and scrape off my attachment. So we're gonna scrape this down because I know there is some uncolored batter in here. All right, that looks beautiful. I love it and it smells amazing. Before we move too far, let's grab our mold. So I got my hanger tool. I'm gonna size him up to fit really quick. So to do that, I just sort of bring it over the container, tilt it in, and then make sure he'll fit. There we go. Perfect. And for the swirl I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna lower it in, go back from front to back. I'm gonna swirl my way up and out. And I'm gonna pour in some red. And some gold. And then the silver. And repeat. So, anyone who's wondering where this idea came from, it really was that song. I love that song. And it was just, I don't know, something about that movie, I guess, being a kid and hearing it all the time. I would hear it when I would go to the stores. I would hear it when I would go out with my grandma. I would just hear it all the time. And then of course, hearing it on that movie just made it even more of a repetitive thing for me. So yeah, it was just one of those things. All right, so now that we have it a little over halfway full, I'm gonna grab the hanger tool. I'm gonna slide it in and I'm gonna swipe it up and I'm gonna swirl it, slide it, and then swipe it. Now we got a nice swirl at the bottom. I'm gonna do some more. But I'm gonna keep this relatively low to the pot here. And just sort of do a little number like this. Just to really get that everywhere. Same thing with this color. I don't see myself using too much more red, but we shall see. This is really about the silver and gold, baby. And then one last drizzle of red on top. Then I'm gonna take the hanger tool again and I'm gonna eyeball about halfway through. Swirl it, swirl it, swirl it. He's done. We're gonna tamp it. Bring up all the air bubbles. I'm gonna let that set up. Over to the side. Into the silver bowl, I'm going to put in some red. some gold. Some more red. Try to get it all the way around. I'm gonna scrape this container clean because we are done with him. I'm gonna do the same thing with the gold. The pie, try to get as much of this in there, everywhere. I'm not gonna swirl this or anything. I want this to thicken up. And then right before we start frosting, we'll do any zhuzhing that's necessary. So we're gonna get this out of my way. So now I'm gonna take a container and I'm gonna start mixing up some colors to put in here. So I'm gonna take some gold mica. I'm gonna use the pot of gold mica, put about a spoon of that in there. And then I'm gonna take some of my luster gold and put a spoon of that in there. Just a little bit. Then I'm gonna pick up the Into the Mystic from Mad Mica and Sparkle Sunshine glitters. The struggles of using gloves. Not that I need them on right this second, but you know what? Forget the gloves. Let's take them off. Free fingers. Now let's open the glitters. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the gold. Just a little sprinky dinky will do me. Just a little bit. A little bit of holographic glitter. This is Into the Mystic. We're gonna have a silver and glow glitter party over here and put some of that in. And this is Champagne Sparkle Dust, and this is from Southwest. So I'm gonna create my custom blend here. Bring our soap back into frame. And I have a little strainer here. And I'm just gonna put this in here and make a little mica line. And I wanna cover the whole thing. And don't think any of this is gonna go to waste. If this is more than enough, I'm gonna turn this into the drizzle that's gonna go on top. It's gonna have embeds, we're gonna have a mica line, we're gonna have frosting, and this is gorgeous. I'm gonna dust this in there. And we're gonna set this aside and we're gonna use it to make our drizzle on top. So we're gonna let this set up so it can be strong enough to hold the frosting. We're gonna let our frosting thicken to the right consistency, and then we'll come back and pipe on and add the embeds. Alrighty, so this base has set up. I have my in the pot swirl of the colors here. I also made up some salts. So I made a silver salt, which is basically just some of the large crusted salt with the satin pillowcase. And then I took the same dust that I used for this and salt and did some other salt. I think this piping should be firm enough. If it's not, then I'm just going to go ahead and do these for now. And then I can come back and do the other ones later. But yeah, it's time for piping. Okay, so now that we have our first layer on, I'm going to get my little duster here. I'm going to tamp that right on to give it a nice gold gilding. Now for the next layer. All right, now the threes are on. Hit it with some more dusting. And I'm being a little heavy-handed with my dusting because I know A, this is gonna wash off within the first 1 or 2 washings. And B, I just really want this to have that really nice antique gold finish on the top. I'm gonna sprinkle on some of my gold dusted mica, my gold mica salt. And these are smaller, finer little granules of salt. Then I'm gonna take my silver ones, sort of like throw them onto the side. This is a very busy bar. but it's gonna be so pretty. That's looking beautiful. I'm not gonna hit it with any more dust because we have an embed to go on top. I'm gonna take some bows that I made. Now these bows were made with melt and pour soap. Some are red and some are gold encrusted, and some of them I even gave a little bit of an antique vibe too. They come in different sizes. They look like this, really pretty. And I'm just gonna start putting some of the bigger ones on the top and then putting the smaller ones on the bottom, or on the side really. Just gonna press that in, press him in. I'm gonna dump these on the counter to make it easier for myself. Look how beautiful that is. Nice. To finish this off, I'm gonna take some holographic glitter. This is Into the Mystic by Micas, and my paintbrush. And I'm just gonna tap it on, just to give it a little bit of silver essence on top of all that gold encrustedness. And for the final touch, you know what it is. We're gonna hit it with some alcohol. Alrighty, that is the finished loaf of my silver and gold. He looks amazing. We're gonna leave it like this. And of course, we're gonna let this sit for 18 to 24 hours, and we'll be back tomorrow to show you the cut and reveal the design on the inside. See you in the morning. Bye. Hi guys, welcome back. It's been 18 to 24 hours, and our silver and gold soap is ready for the chopping block. I think this is gonna be a beautiful reveal. We have our beautiful embeds, all of our sprinkled inkles, and we're ready to cut. Alrighty, we're all lined up. Let's give it a go. Now, of course, some of the embeds will be chopped, but you know, that's the nature of the beast here. I'm hoping, with best of hope, that I don't get any drag marks from the salts, but that might be unavoidable as well. All right. All right. So there is the cut from the first bar. This is beautiful.
And these guys will be available December the 7th on Monday at noon on the website, beautyandcomfort.com. Then also we are having a very special promotion for the Beauty and Comment of the Week. We will select the winner and we will contact said winner, and you will have your choice of a soap on the website. So you can choose whatever soap you want and let us know, and we will send that to you for being our Beauty and Comment of the Week. So all you have to do is like, you have to be a subscriber. We're not just gonna give it to anybody who's just a random comment. So head to the bottom right now and start your comments. We're gonna have that promotion going on probably to the end of the year. So we would like to thank you guys for joining us with this cut. If you like this video, oh no!
Yeah, I figured the ends would pop off.
Okay. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave comments down below. You can be that Beauty and Comment of the Week.
Ooh, look at this.
Subscribe if you have not already subscribed. Let me see that one. And we will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys. Wait, that's wrong. Bye guys.